Hey guys, welcome back. We are doing a Ringside Report. It's been a long time between them, but I've had a lot of other stuff going on between the Nation Network, another channel I operate, and just life in general. But we are going to do it today because it is the day after WrestleMania, the biggest day of the year for professional wrestling. We're going to run some of this stuff in the background as always. Invite your thoughts, your comments, your opinions. We're going to get right to it. I was at WrestleMania myself in person. As you probably know, you've seen some of the stuff that I was able to upload. Very hard to get good signal inside what is actually Camping World Stadium. They kept referring to it as the Citrus Bowl. Don't worry, so do I, because I think Camping World Stadium is the dumbest name in the world. But it's not actually the Citrus Bowl any longer. Same place, new name. I was there. I'll tell you right now, first impressions, the minute I walked in the door, no organization to the entry policy. Only had 2 sets of gates open and did not clarify the way the arena was set up. Literally was split down the middle of one section. Now, to try and make you understand that, where the wrestlers come in, right now we're looking at AJ Styles, for example. Everything behind him that goes to the back area that would normally be a walk-through loop for fans to get to different aspects of the arena they need to sit in, was cut off because obviously the wrestlers were down there getting ready to be elevated up to the entrance area. Well, our section was to the left of the stage as you look at it. We entered to the right of the stage, which means you had to walk the entire arena to get to your section. And there was no signage anywhere that would have saved us that time by going somewhere else. All right, that's the little stuff. My first inside the building opinion or realization was that the merchandise was absolutely horrible. Such a limited selection. I could not believe it. It's WrestleMania. These guys and these girls got here by busting their ass all year long. They make money off merch sales. We all know that. And there was none to be had. I'm going to go down the list right now. Here's what they had. They had 2 dedicated WrestleMania shirts. Just WrestleMania. That was the theme. Then you had your John Cena. Of course, you know he's going to have his. You had Brock versus Goldberg, with the WrestleMania details on that. Didn't have either that. Well, I'll take it back. No, there was a Goldberg. I saw Goldberg. I didn't notice a Brock shirt by itself. Then you move on. You got AJ versus Shane, but again, I do believe AJ had a solo shirt, and Shane might have actually had one as well. Nikki Bella had a shirt. That's it, folks. That's pretty much it. I might have missed one name. I don't recall seeing anything for Randy Orton. Maybe it was there and I missed it. Definitely don't recall seeing anything there for Bray Wyatt. Maybe it was there and I missed it. But I went to numerous stands throughout. And I'll tell you what I personally was looking for. Don't judge. I wanted my Bayley shirt. I love that girl, man. I am so in awe of what she has been able to do. She's not just, the reason she's over so much with the fans isn't because she's a fan. It's because she had the same dream a lot of us did as a kid, but she went out and made it happen. And the rest of us went and got jobs. You have to respect that. And then she's just great at what she does. So I wanted to support her. I wanted to get her shirt. Not a single item for Bayley, Sasha Banks, Charlotte, Becky Lynch, the top women in the world today at what they do. No shirts representing them whatsoever. Sasha Banks had the glasses there and the boss necklace. And at one location I was able to find, not that I was going to buy those. I guess I should have put that in one player mode, huh? My bad. We might do a rematch of this one. Holy cow. AJ got color in under a minute. All right, well, that was a squash. I really thought I set that up to play against itself. All right, back to the point. For Bayley, they had those little blow-up clapper sticks that make noise. Hell, I ain't going to walk around with those stupid things all night. I wanted a shirt. That's all. And I would have probably got one for each of those ladies that I announced if they had them there, but they didn't have any. I was at the Hall of Fame. They didn't have anything there other than Hall of Fame, which is understandable. Just give me 1 second. In the meantime, like I said, if you guys have anything, questions maybe that you want to know anything about from last night, being there live in attendance if you weren't, I'll say this. It was a solid WrestleMania, no doubt about that. All right, let's get back to this. Do it right this time. Give AJ a fighting chance. And there is a reason I'm starting with this particular match. I will say right now, nobody. What am I looking for? McMahon. There you go. Oh, did I do it again? I did it again, too. Jeez Louise. All right, back to it. I'll say one thing right now. AJ Styles was the most over guy at WrestleMania, bar none. Bar none. That crowd was chanting his name 3 hours ahead of time. I'll tell you right now, this guy, I liked him in TNA, and I thought he was a talent, and I thought he'd eventually make it to WWE, but I never, in my wildest dreams, imagined he would be this over. And he is. The fans love this guy. Simple and plain. When you can take babyface Shane and make him the heel, you know you done something right. All right, we were talking about the lack of merchandise representation across the board. So we mentioned Bayley, Sasha, Charlotte, Becky, all nothing really there. They had Becky's goggles, no t-shirts, nothing else other than that. I saw absolutely nothing for Charlotte. I just don't get this. It's like, it's Wrestle Freaking Mania. This is Merchandise 101. This is where you are going to blow through merch. How do you not have anything for some of the biggest names on the card? It's mind-boggling to me. Let's move on. Best and worst of WrestleMania 33. The best, we're looking at it right here. AJ Styles, Shane McMahon. For me, match of the night, and it's close. It's a close call. This match, you knew it was going to have the potential to be really good. I heard a few people say, be ready, this is going to steal it. But I kept coming back to, how old is Shane now? You can have the heart, but the body's not necessarily going to cooperate. Shane McMahon pulled off some crap that I've never seen him do before. I don't think anyone else ever seen him do before. And as an opening match, this match got the place popped. Tremendous. Talking about the best, let's go on the list. Believe it or not, second runner-up for me, first runner-up for me, I should say, Brock Lesnar, Goldberg. You look back the last time these two guys clashed at WrestleMania. Exactly. Most of us try to block that out as a bad memory. Well, the reality is this. These two guys made up for it. They absolutely busted their asses. It was only a 10, 12-minute match. That's all it needed to be. Everything else they'd done in their program went 2 minutes or less. You knew it wasn't going to go 30. But you wanted it to be good. And it was. Here's the element. Here's what made this such a great match. Lesnar going up against Goldberg. We all knew Goldberg was going to lose. But we knew it 3 months ago, too. And he won. Then we knew Lesnar was going to eliminate him at the Royal Rumble and kind of make it 1-1. Only he didn't. Goldberg decimated Lesnar again. So now tonight, or last night at WrestleMania, you knew this is it. Lesnar goes over. There's no way he's going to lose. But there were so many times in that 12 minutes that you started to think he was gonna. And when you can take today's audience, who's all kinds of smart, who knows all the backstage politics and internet stuff, and actually convince us for a minute that, holy shit, Goldberg's gonna win again, then you've done something. These guys both made each other look strong. They both made each other look good. They put on a tremendous show in a short period of time that had it all. It had it all. Kicked out finishers, heavy hits, through the barricade. It was great. And the fans ate that shit up. The arena, the stadium was popping, man. Second runner-up to the best of the night. For me, I had every match predicted accurately. Every single one. There was only one I didn't, and that's because I didn't pick it because it was a match I just didn't care about. I had no interest in it. And that match, quite honestly, was the tag team ladder match. I didn't care about that. Until yeah, that's right. Here's the thing. 24 hours earlier, Matt and Jeff Hardy were at the Lakeland Civic Center here in Florida, headlining the Ring of Honor's pay-per-view, defending the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship, which, spoiler alert, they lost to the Young Bucks. And then they show up at Wrestle Freaking Mania and win the Raw Tag Team Championship. That's about as good a WrestleMania moment as you could ask for. A lot of us thought it could happen. We weren't sure that it would. A lot of people were thinking Monday night. We weren't thinking Mania. But all of a sudden, the New Day came out and we knew shit was going to get real. By the way, WWE just sent out a text a little while ago that tonight they defend those titles. Busy 72 hours for these guys. They defend them against Gallows and Anderson tonight on Raw. So that's going to be a tough one right there. Their bodies have got to be screaming. It was a ladders match at Ring of Honor 2 nights ago. Ladders match last night. And I hope for their sake it's like a pillows and pudding match tonight, because these guys ain't getting any younger. And this 72 hours could have been a real short run for them. 3 count for AJ Styles. That looks familiar. I wasn't really paying too much attention. Let's get a nice one right there. The phenomenal forearm, was that it? Yeah, I guess so. That's the only highlight. All right, nice. All right, third runner-up for best moment of the night for me. I gotta say it again. Love this girl. Bayley winning, retaining. I am so glad they got Nia Jax out of there fast. It's like, let the wrestlers wrestle. Nia Jax, God bless. You know, I know you got the lineage, and I know there's a certain level of indebtitude that the WWE probably has to her because of her family name. But the fact of the matter is, she can't wrestle. Come on. Show me anything about her that shows you she can wrestle. And you know they're going to put the belt on her eventually. She's terrible. Not just because she's out of shape. There's plenty of big people that... Hell, Awesome Kong wasn't any smaller than her, but damn, could she wrestle. Let me set this next one up, and then we're going to pick right up with it. It's one of the few opportunities I get to use the other roster. I'm always so stuck with the old school stuff. Not that I'm complaining, that I never really get to use the current roster. And there are some guys and girls that I do like. I just don't get to use them very much. Let's get this all set up. Was he a download this year? Yeah, he was, wasn't he? Yeah. Like I said, this match right here was great. Great match. They did everything they needed to do. Both guys come out looking good when it's all said and done. It was great to have Goldberg back for that short run. I know he wasn't planning on making a 2-year run at it. Gets his opportunity to let his kid see him do what he did. Be a legend once again. That's a memory his kid will take with him forever. And who knows? Down the line, we might get another jackhammer out of the deal. All right, we were on the last of what I consider the best moments of Mania 3. And that would be Bayley defending successfully her title. I was so happy because I know she's earned it. And it legitimizes her. It does help the title itself. Great move, great call, pretty good match. I would have done one thing different in the booking. I would have had them take out Charlotte. And then you got Sasha Bayley. That's the one-on-one we should have finished with. The show that tore it down in Brooklyn, that made match of the year. How is that not the last two standing at WrestleMania? I thought for sure when they made it an elimination match, that was going to be it. Other than that, I don't have any complaints. I thought it was a pretty good match. For what it was a good match. Let's talk about the worst of WrestleMania 33. Again, this is all my opinion. Feel free to share yours right now. We're doing a live stream for those of you that are with us. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like. Triple H and Seth Rollins. They should be on both lists, best and worst. They were on the best list because theirs was the best built feud going into Mania. Period. It was the best built feud in years in the WWE. It was hot. Then they poured water all over it. They put the fire out. They doused the crowd with lackluster. What a crap match they had. You watch that thing now. I've watched most of Mania back today to see what it was like to see it on television, where you have broadcasting, you have announcers, you get a better view of what's going on in the ring for sure. I don't care how, unless you're spending $3,000 a ticket, you're not going to see WrestleMania being there live unless you're watching it on the Jumbotron. The in-ring stuff you ain't seeing. There are a bunch of little ants, that's all you got. So I'm watching it back. I'll tell you this, the television hides a lot of things, and we'll get to some of the other ones in a minute. But you'll see early in that match, Seth Rollins is trying to jack up the crowd. Like, come on. It was dead. The crowd that was blowing the doors off for Shane and AJ, that was going crazy during a Lesnar match that would come later, by the way, so you can't say they were worn out. They had plenty left in the tank later. But these two guys put us to sleep. How long are you going to just attack the knee? I get you telling a story. I get it. You've already done that. You've attacked the knee for 4 straight weeks. We got that. But have a match. There was no wrestling in this. And then all they did was reverse the same finisher 25 times in a row. That's fun. Not. That was such an underachieving match. Should have been much better. Surprisingly, making the worst list, a match I was personally looking forward to, Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt. Here's what I can tell you having watched it back on television. They hid a lot of the technical screw-ups that went on throughout that match. They lost all power to the building practically 3 times during the match, but you could hardly tell on TV. The one point where you really knew something was wacky going on, towards the very end, when all of a sudden the cockroaches appeared on the screen on the ring like it was being shot down from the camera there, projector. Well, the rest of us were in almost total darkness. The only lights that were on were literally what was in the ring. And that happened 3 times in total during the match. So you have all these power outages going on because some monkey in the back is flipping the wrong freaking switch. I got my mind set that Vince McMahon is running back there. Who the hell is switching that thing off? I don't know what was going on. But it was distracting as all hell, and it took away from the match through no fault of the performers themselves. I know Randy Orton's RKO is based on Out of Nowhere. I got it. It was just... the ending just didn't work. There was no build to the RKO. There was no moment where you felt like Randy's done. He can't possibly win this match. And then all of a sudden, twist out of Abigail and right into an RKO. Didn't happen like that. So the finish was lackluster. I was at the point where I thought they just needed to get this match over with because they weren't sure if there was going to be any electricity left in the building. All said and done, not a great match. A lot of it wasn't their fault. But I can tell you it took the crowd out. Other on the worst list, what can you say? If you know this is Undertaker's last ride, and they knew obviously, why are you going to end such a tremendous career with a guy that you just know we can't stand? The majority of fans simply don't like Roman Reigns. Not because, like a heel don't like him. We just don't like him. In WWE, Vince McMahon, I'm telling you straight up, you're responsible for this. He could have been The Rock. Well, no, he couldn't. What am I saying? Here's the reason he can't be The Rock. And here's the reason, Vinnie Mac, if you care, which you don't, the reason he's not over is because he has no personality. Correct me if I'm wrong. Show me a personality that doesn't seem scripted and canned. It's pathetic. And you're trying to make him the next great thing. And then you shoved him down our throats and told us we were going to like him. Big mistake. And much the same way the Democrats still haven't learned they were responsible for their own demise, neither have you learned, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, that you're responsible for the lack of success for Roman Reigns. Does he have heat? Sure he has heat. But not because he's this great villain or anything. He's got heat because we hate the fact that you pushed him down our throats. Let's see if the F5 is enough on Goldberg right here. 2. And he kicks out. So you're going to take a guy who generally is not even respected by the wrestling community, and that's probably the point I'm trying to get to. And you're going to end the career of a legend, of a god in wrestling. One of the true titans. A guy in the community pages earlier today had a great quote, and I'll paraphrase it as best I can. By the way, when we talk about the community pages, we are referring to the PlayStation Network community that is known as the Humanoid Nation, all things old school wrestling. The quote was something to the effect that last night, one of the true titans of wrestling, a man who made us believe that titans walk the earth, and a last bit of old school lore slipped away into the Orlando night. That really summed it up. Now, total disclosure. I went there with my cousin. We had a great time. We watched The Undertaker make his last walk to the ring. We knew it was over. We knew it was his last shot. We could not sit there and watch Roman Reigns go over, and we left. I watched it on TV today, and I'm glad I left. I wouldn't want to see The Undertaker like that. It was so obvious that he shouldn't have been in the ring. Other guys that I wish they would have put him in there with to end his career on. Not Roman Reigns. For me, that gets worse in the night. We talked about an end of an era. Let's talk about something else. I want to kind of parlay this into the subject matter I had planned to do months ago, and that's copyright infringement. Now, I know that seems like a stretch, right? Well, here's what's brought it up most recently. I was uploading live video that I was shooting at WrestleMania, mostly just entrances. The distance I was from the ring, with a cell phone, you wouldn't have gotten anything worthwhile out of it. And most of you watch it on the network live anyway, so you don't need me. Look at this. Blood on Goldberg. This match is probably about as good as the one last night. The Undertaker entrance video that I uploaded got flagged for copyright infringement for the music. For those of you who don't know copyright law at all, and I'm no expert on it, but I know basics, ambient noise does not fall under copyright protection. If you're at a wedding and you record people dancing at that wedding and post it up on your Facebook, your YouTube account, the music playing in the background does not fall under copyright protection. In other words, they cannot monetize your video. Yet, that's what this one did. Now, I am not going to sit here and fight YouTube on this. It's not worth it to me, number one. I don't monetize my videos, number two, so I really don't give a rat's ass. But the whole subject of copyright, I think in many cases, does more damage to itself than good. I'm trying to actually watch this match a little bit. I got to be honest with you. I'm impressed with the way this match is going right now. Let's stick with this for 1 second. We'll get back to copyright after that. Holy cow! I got to tell you, I don't like the way that one just turned out, huh? What a great match that seemed like it was. I didn't focus on it all the way, but... By the way, props to whoever made the arena here. I didn't get the name when I downloaded it a minute ago. But you do a quick search on the PlayStation Network and you'll find it. Really well done. We're talking about copyright. We're back. And again, if you guys want to interject anything into this conversation, WrestleMania related, any of the matches related, any of my opinions on pros and cons, look at the blood-soaked face of Goldberg there. Holy cow. Feel free in the comments, and as long as we're still live streaming, I'll be happy to respond. When I think about copyright, we look back now. Go ahead and watch WrestleMania, the first WrestleMania ever. Go ahead and watch it. You're not going to see it. Oh, you'll see WrestleMania, the matches. And you'll see WrestleMania with the guys entering the ring, in some cases. But you're not going to see WrestleMania the way it happened because they have to remove the music. Get back to that right after this. We'll set up one more and that'll take us home. Oh, went back one too many. Michael PSA strutting away. Yeah, like that rule's normal. Yeah, well, the Fatal 4-Way, there really aren't any. Oh, hold on. Actually, wait a minute. Can I make it an elimination? Nope. What was I thinking? 2K was going to give me options? No. Oh God, I think she was in. Yeah, she was downloaded. All right, you got my full attention. We're back. And we're talking about copyright. Copyright protection. Look, I understand the reason for it. I don't even begrudge them for doing what they do. But do they do it to their own detriment? Let's talk. Back in '85, a huge part of the music that I bought was based on wrestling. I bought Cyndi Lauper's, what the heck was the album called? Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Because of her involvement with the Rock and Wrestling Connection. Because Captain Lou was in her videos. Because wrestlers were in her videos. That's why I bought it. And I became a Cyndi Lauper fan after that. I bought Time After Time, True Colors, whatever other albums came after that. Sorry I didn't get that part right, but I wasn't a huge fan. But I supported her. Even to this day, I like her voice and I like her music. Going back to WrestleMania, let's talk about the songs that you no longer hear when you watch WrestleMania 1 on the network. You have Barry Windham, Mike Rotundo coming out to Born in the USA. That made me a Bruce Springsteen fan. Bought the album and then bought older albums and bought everything after that. I was a Bruce Springsteen fan because they used his music. Now, I was already a fan of Queen, but when the Junkyard Dog had another one bites the dust, I'm going out and buying the album. By the way, kids, albums are these vinyl discs that are about 12 inches across. They got grooves in them and stuff, and you put them on top of this thing called a turntable. It turns around, and then you put a needle on that bitch. Imagine putting a needle on your CD player, only it's much bigger. Don't try that, by the way. Because of all that, that's what got me into buying a lot of their music. Now, I actually download a lot of wrestling theme songs, and I buy a whole lot less music. I can't listen to the radio anymore. It sucks. The crap on the radio, and I don't want to sound like that old guy, but it is what it is. Today's music is awful. That said, I know a little bit about Flo Rida now because of his involvement in wrestling. And I've even got a couple of his songs because of wrestling. I see we got some interaction going on here, so give me a second. Is this live? Well, yeah, it's live. It's a live stream. Mr. Chua, how do you say that? Chuan? We are definitely live. We're taking your questions. We're only going to be going for a little longer right now. I know a lot of people probably watching Mania the day after. I like to let it get about halfway in so I can fast forward through the commercials and the bad matches, which is going to be probably most of it. I'll be very curious, by the way, to see how tonight's crowd reacts. The Orlando Arena, which is now the Amway Arena. For those of you not familiar with the area, let me explain the history of Orlando when it comes to sporting venues. Some 20 years ago, we built the Orlando Arena, and it was a great little arena. And it's not little and small. It was just a great place. We had some history there. The Orlando Magic had a really strong run for a year or so. Put a couple of banners up there, not for the championship, but at least for conference title. Had the Orlando Solar Bears, which was International Hockey League, and now I don't even know what hockey league they're part of. They've come back. They managed to win a championship in the last year the league existed. You had some history. It was a great place for concerts. I remember going to see Elton John perform there. He stopped about 40 minutes into that show and made a comment that it was the greatest building he ever played in for sound. Elton friggin' John. Pretty sure he's played a bunch of places, so for him to say that, it had to have something going for it. The building gets to be about 19 years old, and according to Rich DeVos, the owner of the Orlando Magic, that's too old. We can't compete with the NBA teams that have new buildings. We need a new building or we're leaving. I was one of the fans who said, hey, which door do I need to hold open so you don't get it hitting you in the ass on the way out? But for some reason, the city of Orlando decided we have to have the NBA to be a legitimate city. We don't have the NBA. We have the Orlando Magic, and they suck. They suck every friggin' year. They are the Cleveland Browns of the NBA. Sorry, Cleveland. He determines he has to have a new stadium. Orlando buckles down and gives it to him. Hence the Amway Arena. Now, Amway is a company he owns. It's a legalized pyramid scheme. He gets his new arena, and he still gives us the same crappy product. Now, I have stopped watching all professional sports with the exception of the NHL playoffs. Years ago, when these guys started going on strike and canceling the World Series, canceling the NBA playoffs, canceling the NHL playoffs and seasons, I realized they've got too much money. They get paid millions of dollars to play a game. Not one of them is solving cancer. And then they determine, sorry, that's not enough. And we're going to stick it to the fans to make them angry and to get the owners to realize they need us and pay us more. And I say, screw all of you. Play in front of an arena packed with 1,000 people and then negotiate a contract. But unfortunately, professional sports fans are a bunch of sheep. And the minute these guys who use them as pawns in their own personal game decide to come back and grace us with their presence, like a bunch of sheep, we flock back and fill the seats as if nothing's wrong. Shame on all of you. Shame on every one of you. And shut the fuck up in the future. I don't ever want to hear you bitch about the next strike. You're the reason for it. Shut up. All that said, we get the Orlando Amway Arena. I go there for the first time after it's open for about 2 months to see the first ever WWE event there, which I believe was Raw. And it was the night that Miz cashed in his Money in the Bank and became the world champion over Randy Orton. That was tremendous. To be there for that was great. My first impression entering the building, once I got inside the arena, this is not an arena. It's Rich DeVos's living room. What they attempted to do in Orlando at the Amway Center was bring even the cheap seats closer to the action. Well, how do you do that? They're cheap seats. Well, instead of having them spaced backward further and tiered in levels, usually 1, 2, and 3, most arenas might have 3 levels, they almost went straight vertical with just a slight angle to it. So if you were to, God forbid, trip at the top of the staircase, it's almost a free fall. I'm sorry, I'm laughing, but it's almost a free fall all the way down. It is a very steep angle, to say the least. And it kind of brings you a little closer, but not really. But what it does do is take the energy out. It does not feel like an arena anymore. To that point, local sports broadcasting, about 5 months into the first Magic season in that building, was addressing comments made by some of the Magic players that the fans aren't as riled up as they used to be. What's wrong? Well, A, you suck still, so let's not lose sight of that. But B, and these guys were saying it before I was thinking and saying it, but they said it publicly, it doesn't feel like an arena. People feel like they're at home. You don't yell and scream at home. Well, some of us don't. It was a much more laid-back environment, which is not good for sports. I thought it'd be great for concerts, though, and I went and saw a concert. Finally went to see Bon Jovi for the first time ever live. No, it really wasn't good for that either. So what I'll say about the Amway Arena, you'll know we have one hell of a hot crowd there tonight, and possibly the day after WrestleMania you could, because that traditionally is what you get. But if not, don't blame the crowd. Don't blame the wrestlers. Blame Rich DeVos. All right, guys, we are going to wrap it up. I got one last thing for those of you on the PSN that are running the 2K WWE Tragedy. It's WrestleMania, but I'm also celebrating Mulkey-Mania. I needed a couple of the legendary jobbers for my roster, so I created a couple of the legends themselves, Randy and Bill Mulkey. If those of you too young to know, I'm sure if you put their names, Mulkey, if you put their names into the network, I'm sure there's a couple of matches involving them in there. They set the bar when it comes to jobbing in professional wrestling. These two brothers wrestled everyone in the business, every big name, and they lost. They lost bad. If you want to find them, though, I did cause that I have posted them up. Just go to PlayStation Network, go to your download section, and hashtag Invasions End, all one word. Then you can find all of the created content that I've posted this year for WWE 2K17 as Charlotte tries to take out Nia Jax here. All right, that is it. That's all I've got for the Ringside Report today. I think I'll let this match finish it out, and hell, I might even call it. We didn't put the title on the line. Nia Jax going for the pin on. Charlotte gets two, and Charlotte just barely gets that shoulder up. You know, it was great. By the way, now we're going to just drift around the subjects while this match goes on. It was great to see JR come out. What a rough time he's going through right now in his life. And for him to come out and right off the bat say, you know what, let's have some fun. God bless that man. I'll tell you what, I feel so bad for what he's going through right now, that he did what he did for The Undertaker. It's his last match, and he said, I want JR to call it. You could tell he was probably a little out of his A game, but who wouldn't be under those circumstances? Bayley would have flowed over against 2. Here we go. Oh, man, I thought we were going to see Brooklyn too. You know what? I think I'd be remiss if we didn't address the pending nuptials that took place last night. I really thought, and I'm still not completely convinced, but I really thought everyone involved was in on the John Cena proposal, including Nikki. The only thing that made me somewhat question it was on their way back up the ramp at the end, where she said something to him about, I can't believe you did that to me. So maybe the deal is that she just knew it was going to happen. A lot of us were actually suggesting it was going to happen during the match. We said that after it's over, we knew they were going to win. Let's be serious. A lot of us were saying maybe he's going to propose after the match. And nah, that would be corny and not for anything. I mean, he will propose, I think, but not like that. Turns out, we were wrong. But it was what it was. You could see it coming a mile away. As soon as he had a microphone in his hand, we knew what was going to happen. Although, how funny would it have been? How funny would it have been if he'd actually gone into one of those moments from Miz and Maurice's comedy act there and started getting all the way up to the moment where it's like he's going to ask the question and then ask a totally different question. I can see it now. So I've just got one question to ask you. Will you give me a back massage because I am sore? You know, there's a lot of Cena haters out there. You know what? Everyone to his own. The guy's earned my respect tenfold for everything he's done. He's had a very long career. And I've said it before, and I will say it again. He deserves to get one more title shot and title run to eclipse Ric Flair's record. Because he is better than Flair. Now, I'm not saying his in-ring work is better than Flair's. But every aspect of what he's done, I'm not saying he's an angel. But he's the guy that has got the right to be the all-time greatest champion with the most world titles. Not only that, but he's done it in one organization. Let's keep that in mind. What he's done with the Make-A-Wish Foundation is an absolute testament to who he is. How he treats fans and the public over and over again. You see it all the time. You hear the stories all the time. The only time I've ever heard a fan tell a story where Cena brushed him off was in the local area, St. Petersburg, I believe it was. Either on a train or a bus or something like that. And later on, like the next day, it came out that he and his wife filed for divorce or made it public that they were splitting up. And the guy even posting his story said that probably had something to do with it. And it wasn't even like John was being a dick. It was just like, hey, man, I'm really not up for today. Randy Orton, on the other hand, he's the guy that'll tell you straight up, get out of my friggin' face. Cena's been in there with some great names, had some great feuds, drawn some big money. You know, it kind of makes me look back even on the Hall of Fame this year. Kurt Angle never should have been the headliner. Never, ever should have been the headliner. Your headliner was DDP. They screwed that up every way possible. How in the world, when you got a guy of integrity like Diamond Dallas Page, a guy who has always remained positive, been positive motivator, a guy who's always looked out for other people in this industry, be real. A guy who got in at 35 and a half and became the world freaking champion. That should end the match right there. Nope, she kicked out. Diamond Dallas Page is the headliner, period. Instead, you got Kurt Angle in there. You have this video montage building him up to be the world's greatest ever human being, when all he did was rake up 4 DUIs in 5 years, escape justice every time. Now, I don't personally have any family members that I'm aware of that were ever involved in an accident or injured by a drunk driver. But I lost a very close friend. And I have absolutely no respect for the motherfucker that does it 4 fucking times and gets away with it. So fuck you, Kurt Angle. No, I don't give you a pass. No, I don't forgive you. People make mistakes. There's a penalty to be paid for it, bitch, and you never paid it. You never paid the fine. You took other people's lives in your hands with your own selfish, stupid, moronic behavior, and they put you on a frickin' pedestal. Bullshit. Kurt Angle's the luckiest son of a bitch in the world right now, as are the people that were on the road with him those 4 occasions. And folks, if you think it only happened 4 times, wake up. He got caught 4 times. How many times went where he didn't get caught? And it's over. What can I say? We keep it real here ringside. My point of view, Kurt Angle's a piece of shit. Look back at the replay here. Looks like this is a pretty good match, too. I really wasn't paying much attention to it. All right, fans, that is it for our Ringside. The live broadcast ends. You can still post comments even, and so we'll be able to address them live, but I'd be happy to respond to your thoughts, your opinions, your take on WrestleMania 33. What was the best and worst for you? Post it down below. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Gonna try and do the Ringside Report a little bit more often. We'll see how it goes. Until next time, old school, reminding you that when it comes to pro wrestling, old school is cool. Later, everybody.